Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thanks very much for joining me again for another video. This is this week's Festive Friday Sews. So as always, a huge thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for setting up Friday Sews, and this is my little festive offshoot of that. So I hope you're all well. I'm fully decked out, as you can see, for Christmas. My little Christmas jumper, my festive necklace, but I think I might take that off now. I don't want to distract anybody. So anyway, you all know that I get fully into the Christmas spirit, don't you? I don't need to tell you. And this also flashes, this flashy necklace, which I love. Anyway, moving on. I hope you're all well and thank you very, very much for coming back for another video. We had a good week here in the French Seams household. We went to visit Santa Claus last week, which the boys just loved. They had such a great time. There was face painting. They both got their faces painted as Rudolph. They looked absolutely adorable. There was a little puppet show there that they absolutely loved, and of course they got to see the big man himself, and he told them that they were both on the nice list, so they are just delighted. But aside from that, it's been a really good week. I've got some lovely sewing done. I did start my Christmas shopping, so I think I'm almost done now, hopefully. But that was nice, a little potter in the shops, and they were very festive. It was lovely. So aside from that, yes, just been working, and I will catch up on what I've been sewing and what I'm going to get up to next week as well. So it's a very dreary day in Dublin, a dreary December day, but it's not as cold as it was earlier in the week. Lordy, it went down to about 1 or 2 degrees Celsius this week. It was absolutely freezing, so I'm glad that cold snap has stopped, but if the rain could subside, that would be very nice. So to let you know what I'm wearing today, this is a Coco Wow Crafts chestnut sweater that I made. It must have been about 2017, I think. It's a beautiful jumper sweatshirt with a little ribbon tie here and a little candy cane ribbing, which I love. And then it's also on the hemband here. I got this fabric years ago from the lovely Maeve. And actually Anna from Coco Wow Crafts shared on her Instagram yesterday me wearing a chestnut sweater in 2017. And so I have about 3 or 4 of them. They're lovely sweatshirt pattern. You can do the tie at the shoulder, you can do the tie at the back, and then I think it's got ones with the ribbons on the sleeves, which is really nice. So yeah, I'll link that pattern below. It's lovely, but I do love wearing this one at Christmas. It's very festive, is it kind of a little bit elf or maybe Mrs. Claus? We don't know, but anyway, love wearing this. So yes, full on festive in the French Seams household. And I've also got my little Jazz and Wow glittery heart earrings, which I think go quite nicely with the jumper. So without further ado, will I let you know what I got up to this week in the sewing room, my little tiny sewing room here. So I got the lovely Mr. French Seams hoodie done. So this is the Patty Doo Tony hoodie, which is the male version of the Patty Doo Lynn hoodie, which I made myself a few weeks ago. So it's in this beautiful green fabric from Driessen stoffen, so kind of a dark green, a little bit darker in real life. It's got the lovely huge big crossover hood. It's got the little thumb holes here, and it's got the lovely stretched up, it needs an iron, little pocket detail here. So yeah, it came out really well, and he has been wearing it, which is great. I put in a little label from my Kylie in the Machine bauble, so it says you are my world, so I love that. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this came out. So now we have our matching crossover hoodies, and this fabric from Driessen stoffen is just lovely. It's a French terry, but it's really nice, and it was really nice to work with as well. So, and it worked really well for the cuffs and the hemband as well with no issue. So yeah, great little pattern. I haven't got a picture of him in this yet, but if I do, I'll pop it in hopefully before I publish this. I also got my Christmas Day outfit done. Well, 99.9% done. I wanted to make a little ballet cardigan and a skirt. So to do that, I used the Tilly and the Buttons pearl cardigan. So I got that made up. This is again beautiful French terry from Driessen stoffen. It's a lovely white and it needs an iron again. So I've been doing a bit of research into this pattern, and I had heard that it comes up very short. So I'm 5'9", so of course I was very conscious that I didn't want it too much of my midriff showing, shall we say, but I did want it quite high-waisted because I'm wearing it with a waisted skirt. So I hummed and hawed over the sizing, the measurements, everything, and in the end I just said, look, I'm just going to make a straight size, but I'm not going to use the full seam allowance, and see if that works. And I think I got away with it. So I made my usual size 4 grading to a size 5 in Tilly patterns, but I didn't do any seam allowance on the shoulders or at the hemband, and I think it actually works out quite well. The sleeves are a great length as well, which is great. So the only difference I made was that I didn't put in the waist ties. So I want to be able to, well, originally I wanted to just button it at the side, and I had these lovely little white buttons here, little fluffy ones that I had in my button stash, and I thought they'd be perfect. So I tried out my buttonhole foot on my machine. So I did a test button, perfect. Did the first button here, perfect. Second button, no, did not work. And actually a lovely lady on here messaged me asking me about my Juki machine and did I still like it, was it still good, and how did I get on with the buttonholes, and I was like, yeah, it's absolutely fine. Yeah, the buttonholes, I think I've been resisting it. The buttonholes aren't great on it. I will say this now, thinking back over everything I made this year, the buttonholes have been a challenge. So apologies, I might retract that statement. I do apologise, but yeah, the buttonholes are a challenge. So I regrouped, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sew them down. So I'm literally going to close both sides just with 2 buttons and just sew them down because I can pull it on over my head like a jumper. So I think that's the compromise I'll make, and hopefully it'll hide the disaster of a buttonhole. So I'm going to do 2 little buttons here, and I'm going to do 2 little buttons here, and just I'll be able to pull it on over my head. It does give quite good coverage here. It's quite high on the V, which is good. It's not too low. So yeah, I'm very happy with how this came out. I put in another of my new Kylie in the Machine labels. This one says Feasting Attire because it's going to be my Christmas Day jumper. So yeah, very happy with this, and I can probably see myself making a few more of these in the future. If I was to wear it with jeans, I would probably lengthen it a little bit just because I don't like high-waisted jeans. I wear my jeans a little bit lower, so I would need a little bit more coverage, but it's a very, very nice pattern. It comes together super quickly, and actually it doesn't use much fabric at all. Speaking of which, I'll get onto that in a minute because I had leftover fabric of these white and green fabrics, but more on that shortly. And then the last thing I made then was my skirt for Christmas Day, and is in this beautiful, I don't even know what colour you call this, kind of like a pinky burgundy colour, but it's beautiful. It's kind of satiny. I'm sure it's upholstery fabric, but never mind. So I just made a little circle skirt, self-drafted, loosely based on the Tilly and the Buttons Lotta. So it's got a flat front waistband, but then I made it elastic at the back because it's Christmas time and I hope to wear this over the festive season, and you know yourself. So it's probably midi length on me. I've just overlocked the very bottom because I want to turn it under and top stitch it, but I have no matching thread that will be suitable. Even the stitch in the ditch there you can kind of see, so I want to buy properly matching thread to finish off the hem on this, but it came out quite well, and I think the 2 of these together, pull them up again, the 2 of these together are going to be my Christmas ensemble. So I'll hopefully pop in a few pictures on Christmas Day and let you know how I get on. But yeah, quite happy with this. It's beautiful fabric, it's so nice, and I have a pair of kind of glittery gold shoes that I think will look really pretty with that too. So that's the sewing I got up to this week. So oh, I also finished my Christmas pajamas. Where did I put them? Here. I finished all our Christmas pajamas, so the boys love wearing them. So as I say, this, I think I showed these last week. This is my one. It's the Tilly and Buttons Billie in beautiful dinosaur fabric from Ecobee, and then I got the ribbing and the cotton jersey from Driessen stoffen. So they look really, really nice together, and my boys and me have been wearing them loads. And I did get to finish off my pajama bottoms. These are the so I frantically remember the pattern, Juno Pjs from Tilly the Buttons, and they came out really nicely. Just did the full length ones with the cuffing at the bottom as well. So yeah, they're a lot darker in real life. That's coming out very, very blue. So that was my sewing this week. Yeah, so for the boys I made the made by me patterns kids pajamas, and then for my husband I made him the Jackson pullover by Helen's Closet, which is a lovely, lovely pattern. I actually must make one for myself as well. So that was my lovely sewing this week. What I've got planned for this week coming. So what I want, also losing my voice, apologies. What I would like to do is get some more mug rugs sewn up. So I've picked out some lovely Christmassy fabric here. So I'd like to do little more star mug rugs, more Christmas tree mug rugs, and then try to scale down my enormous candy cane mug rug, which I showed last week. Try and scale that down to a more mug size as opposed to a full size dinner plate. So I've got these ready to go, and yeah, I'll go into my little quilting zone, I think, next week, which I'm really looking forward to. And then the other thing I'd like to get made up. So this time last year, I discovered a pattern on the Misusu website. It's a free pattern for a kind of folded Christmas tree on a jumper, and I was totally taken by it. I thought it looked really, really great. So like that, and like my crochet Santa jumper, which I did finish last week, the 2 of them just got to put aside for the whole year. And the 2 of them lived rent-free in my brain for the whole year. So I've done my crochet Christmas jumper now. I'll pop in a picture of me wearing that last week. But this week now, I want to get this Christmas tree origami jumper made up. So I'll pop in a picture of what it looks like. It's a child's pattern, but it comes in 2 sizes, small, medium and large. And I did the measurements of the large, and it's perfectly fine for me. So basically what you do is you print off the pattern piece of the Christmas tree and the top of the Christmas tree and the trunk of the Christmas tree. And then you cut out your bodice pattern piece. So I use the Billie. And then you lay their kind of slashed bodice front on top, and then you recut the pattern and include the seam allowance. So hopefully this makes sense. Basically, you end up with 5 pattern pieces for your front bodice, and I just added on seam allowance as I cut out my fabrics. This is, you can see here, this is the arm here, and this is the neckline here, so you can see it kind of slashes across like this. So you end up with 5 pattern pieces for the bodice, and then you cut out your, this is your Christmas tree trunk, this is the top of the Christmas tree, and then this is the Christmas tree pattern itself. This is the pattern piece. So you can see it folds here, you can see all the fold lines. Oh, that's the bottom. So these are all the fold lines, and it snakes around all like this. So what I ended up having to do was sew together about 2.5 fat quarters to get it all in one. But basically this is the pattern piece. Halfway through this, I sat back and said, what am I doing? What have I let myself in for? And read, I think, the pattern piece that said, confident beginner. I was like, oh lordy, right, this is quite tricky. But I stuck with it, and I've pieced it together and pinned it to see what it would look like when it's finished, and it looks so cool. So this is my bodice piece that I just need to sew together. It's currently pinned, and this is what it's going to look like. So how cool is this? When it all came together, I was like, this is just magic. So this is the Billie sweatshirt with the seam allowance added, pieced together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern pieces to make the front of the Billie bodice. And here's your folded Christmas tree. I mean, how cool is that? So these are all the folds, and then you've got they're all the folds there. So that's what that enormous pattern piece becomes, all these folds, and then you've got your trunk piece down here, and these are Aldi fat quarters. So I think this is looking really, really cool. So then from that, that was the white from my pearl cardigan. Then I had just a bit left over from my husband's fabric to do green sleeves, and I'm going to do green cuffs as well, because I was really running out of fabric at this stage. And then I had just enough of the white left to do the regular Billie back bodice. And then for my neckband and hemband, I found I had a scrap of this lovely glittery fabric from Carlo fabric left over. I use this for my Whistler sweatshirt during the summer. And recently, and especially in my pajamas, I've been using this technique for doing hembands and cuffs and stuff. So I'd seen this on Instagram and said, oh my God, this is just a game changer. And then promptly forgot about it and couldn't find how to do it again. And then the lovely Amelia from Sew Amelia had put on her channel how to do it again. So I've been doing it ever since. So basically, instead of folding here's your neckband piece, instead of just folding it like this, and then stitching and then having to maybe snip it or fold it, whatever, what you do is you fold it in half like this, then fold it in half again, and then if you pin this and then just sew down this very, very short end, then when you pull it all out, it gives a perfect little neckband with no bulky seam. So I've been doing this loads on neckbands, on waistbands, on cuffs. Brilliant. I did get myself into trouble because I just did it mindlessly on my little boys' waistbands for their pajama bottoms, forgetting that you need to feed through the elastic in the channel. Anyway, so it does come with a caveat. But yeah, so this technique works really, really well. So it's really great. I'm using it all the time. So this is my neckband and this is my waistband, and this is going to be my Christmas tree jumper. So I'm so excited to get this done. So hopefully I get this done this weekend, because I think it's going to be so much fun. And I might add in a few little trims, a few little embellishments. I've got a few little tiny Christmas tree lights and some bells. So yeah, you may as well go OTT. When else can you? So that's what I would like to get done this week. Oh, there's one more thing I'd like to get done. I was watching the lovely Adam Sews, and he made a beautiful quilt block of a little present. So I definitely want to give that a go as well. He used a technique called a flying goose to make the top of the present. I need to investigate more in this quilt world. I really, really do. It sounds great. So that's what I'd like to get done this week. So as on the life front, so as I say, yes, the boys are super excited about Christmas, but they're really, really looking forward to it. And this weekend we are meeting some buddies tomorrow to go and see some Christmas lights, and then on Sunday we're going to see a Christmas market. My lovely dad is coming to stay with us tonight, which is great because we haven't seen him in a few weeks. So that should be a really, really nice weekend. And then next week I am working, getting ready to kind of finish up for Christmas, which is lovely. But there'll be a few little more kind of Christmassy things during the week as well, which I'm really, really looking forward to, and just generally kind of Christmas movies. We did watch Home Alone 2 last night, which I love, and I've been watching The Santa Claus, which also I love. So it's just, yes, you can imagine. I don't have to tell you that it's Christmas in the French Scenes household, do I? I really, really don't. So I shall leave it there. Hopefully short and sweet for you today. I hope you're all well. I hope you have some time for some lovely, lovely sewing. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I would love it if you would consider subscribing. As always, please leave me a comment in the comments box below. Let me know how you're getting on and if you have any questions on anything I discussed today. But aside from that, I will catch up with you again next week in next week's Festive Friday Sews. Take care, everyone. Bye.